if I were to say, I love you, what does that mean operationally? So for me, I define love by what I'm willing to give up to maintain my relationship with something or someone. And so by using that definition, I was able to see, maybe I don't love my family as much as I thought, because I'm actually not willing to give up very much in order to maintain this relationship. And I might actually love my friend, or I may love my coworkers a lot more than I love my family if we use the definition of what I'm willing to give up in order to keep it. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, oh, I love my goals more than I love anyone. I'm not willing to give up my goals in order to maintain a relationship. And so I actually, when I realized this, I sat down with Layla and I was like, hey, I think I love my goals more than I love you.
How did that go down?
Great. Because she was like, my whole goal in life has been to help you accomplish your goals. And I think the reason that we've had such an aligned relationship is that both of us want to help the other person achieve their goals. And in so doing, then you're aligned. And it's like, wow, I would give up everything to maintain peace. Because if Layla is the person on earth that helps me accomplish my goals more than anyone else, and my goals mean more to me than anything else, then
Layla is now the conduit between
Yes.
the two. Yeah, she's like Inception mind fucked you into.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now some people get really uncomfortable by me saying that, but
It sounds transactional in
yes,
some ways.
and it is. And I believe in transactions and relationships in general. But when we sat, like, for some reason in marriage, it sounds weird, but on a first date, the first thing you share is, these are my goals. This is what I want to do. Like, is that at all interesting to you? Because if you're not aligned with where I'm trying to go, then maybe we shouldn't walk in this path together. But for some reason later, that no longer applies. I believe what you apply on first date should also apply on 10 years in. At least that's what's worked for us. And if there's ever been a moment where we're like, hey, we feel off kilter here, this feels like it's conflicting with our earlier agreement, then we reconcile it. Right. And so I bring this up because there are so many terms like loyalty, trust, and I spend a lot of time trying to define these terms so that I can say, not do I trust this person, but how much do I trust this person? This person is honest or not? No, how honest is this person? And the only way that you can know someone is honest is if they've had the opportunity to lie, where it's not socially beneficial for them, where they lose status by still being integrous and saying what really occurred. If you're a beginner, just figuring out how to make your first dollar, I'm a co-owner of Skool.com, Skool.com. You can start for free. It's a cool setup that we have to help people do it. And right now, 54.1% of people who start a paid community on Skool make money. So we have put a tremendous amount of effort, Sam and I, into trying to remove all barriers and all friction for people who are getting started so that they have literally no excuses.
It's a way better strike rate than OnlyFans.
I don't know what their strike rate is, but we've worked really hard if you saw the amount of detail, I mean, maybe you heard some of this from the podcast, but the amount of detail that went into like where buttons go and what things we remove was actually a big one, was how can we so pare this down so that people don't get overwhelmed, because the number one reason people cancel or decide not to do something is overwhelm. And so we're like, okay, how can we funnel action into the clearest possible steps that people go step 1, step 2, step 3, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, this actually worked. And so it's been really cool to see the thousands of people who have made their first dollar, which is what I make all my content about it to begin with. And so it's been the ride of my life. It's been awesome.
Okay. I appreciate you, man.